Welcome to the Wrestling Fan and Wrestling Show. I'm the big beefy boy Shaz Beef, joined by my fellow old buck in Morro. No Johnny the Beast Mortos.
No Johnny the Beast. It was lovely having him for 2 weeks.
It was fucking great having him. It's like having Google on wrestling just there.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, my memory is mush. A total mush. And he just recalls absolutely everything. How does he do it?
Like he was talking about Eddie Gilbert as a booker, and I found this great channel, WrestleSpective, I think it's called, and they do this series on the channel called Defunct Championship Wrestling.
Yes, I've seen this. Yeah.
It was just it's a gold mine of information. Go check it out. It's really well put together. It's so well put together that I was like, is this AI? Your man's voice is so relaxing, but no, it's genuine.
I've seen Defunct Championship Wrestling come up. Yeah,
very good. I was looking at the USWA stuff. I looked at the Dark Side of the Ring, Eddie Gilbert stuff. Then I watched the Vader stuff, and there was stuff in that I really didn't like. That maybe have a different perspective on Vader, but just love delving into the history. Love chatting to it with John as well. He just knows so much, and he learns so much. There was a moment in that podcast that I just went silent because I was just like, "Oh, this is cool." I'm soaking it all in.
It was one of my favourite ones to do, actually.
I think so.
But we've been waiting for. Me and John have been mad to do the Bookers one for a while.
Yeah.
So.
I think there's probably still more steam in it. We said that about all the podcasts that we do.
It felt like there was more. When I listened back, me and John went for a couple of pints after doing it. We were chatting about doing it, and then we kept, we basically should have recorded us in the pub, because we did another 3 hours in the pub going, we never mentioned this, we didn't mention this. There was plenty of steam in the engine, as they say.
Yeah, and lots of great messages that are after coming in. Just from that one, Andrew Murphy 5055, Kevin Sullivan is the greatest booker of all time for inadvertently booking his own divorce. That's coming up in the Chris Benoit docu. We got copyright on 2 or 3 things, and I noticed 1 or 2 things that are in it that need to be changed, and the editor of that. Now it was completely separate. He finds that story fascinating, so he was like, all right, I'm going to delve into this, and he did, and it's fucking phenomenal.
I've seen the earlier version of it.
Yeah, it's really good. But there's a little bit in it where we go into the bizarre tales, where it's he puts it on, and it's me doing one of my bizarre videos. Come to mention, the Booker T and the DDP bizarre videos have gone up, so we're on. That's number 4. I think I'm going to do a run of. I said 10, but fuck me. It's proven to be quite.
Do you know how many All Elite Morros there's been now?
How many?
I think it's 26 or something.
Fucking hell.
That's 6 months work. Doesn't feel like I'm doing it that long.
It's nuts, man. And, on top of work, editing for wrestlers, wrestling myself, training. It's pretty mad. Mark Dowd said, love these historical podcasts where you go through different eras of wrestling.
Yeah, I like that
on
too.
The last one. Yeah, it was great. Really glad that the Devil and Walter Starr booking got a mention. Honestly, think could put up against anything in the top companies in recent years.
Agreed.
Brian Maxwell says, the bloodline has been drained so much you couldn't make a single piece of black pudding from it now.
That's a fact.
Jer Banahan, fucking champ. Great watch, lads. John is some fountain of knowledge for all their stuff. I feel like a lot of lines get blurred when so many bookers end up on the screen, and then we know about them being shitty in real life. And that's the booking promoter aspect of it as well, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this one caught my eye, and it's one that I've been dying to do, and I had a different thought process on it initially, but I think you were saying, no, I don't know too much about that style of wrestling. But then I put it as more of a general of that style, if you get me.
When you opened up the style, it opened it up for me more as well, yeah.
Yeah, so Kale 96748, another great episode. Would love to see an episode about hardcore wrestling. Keep up the good work. So initially I wanted to do an episode a few weeks ago on deathmatch wrestling. That was something that I was so fascinated by growing up. But deathmatch is hardcore, you know what I mean? If we broaden it up to hardcore wrestling. So I put a question out there to all the peeps that are on the, I fucking hate that I use that word peeps, but that are on the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show Instagram about what was your favourite hardcore wrestler or moment. Lots of people got in touch, and I'll read out a few of them here now. Usher McCarthy, legend. Sandman blading himself with a beer can in the rafters of the Hammerstein Ballroom.
Sensational.
He's hardcore.
That was sensational.
Or Ron the Analyst says, Cactus Jack and Terry Funk growing up hearing stories from Japan. I already mentioned about the time that I actually thought Cactus Jack legit kill someone because it was a death match. Actually, because of my love for hardcore wrestling, the Don that is Suicide Machine, Paddy Morrow, he sent me on. He actually gave me a Terry Gordy figure.
Yeah, I've seen that. That's fucking unbelievable.
Which is just,
I'm jealous.
I was so taken back by it. But he sent me on their like clips of their deathmatch, Terry Gordy and Cactus Jack over in Frontier Martial Arts, was it?
Yeah, FMW. I think it was FMW.
Or was it IWA?
Could have been IWA, actually.
Yeah, could have been. John Morton, Johnny the Beast. Even when he's not here, he still has...
that's nice.
Yeah, Steve Blackman's career, he said.
Yeah, he's mad to talk about Steve Blackman. Steve Blackman.
I don't get Steve Blackman, like in terms of... I think I was watching Royal Rumble 2000 recently. Steve Blackman came out, and I'm like, why does everyone love this guy?
It's weird.
He's cool music.
It's kind of a thing where it's become a mythical thing in hindsight.
Brian Maxwell, he did a lovely podcast, Maxwell's Voice, on wrestling. 20, but he has a 20-minute. Did you watch that one?
That's his third episode.
Yeah, the latest one on wrestling. When they go home, he goes, "Can't stand hardcore wrestling. Waste of Woody's DIY gift card."
No.
I disagree with that, but that's what wrestling's all about. David Meehan 66 says, my first pay-per-view to watch live was King of the Ring 98, so it's got to be Mick flying off that cell. And also got to mention Royal Rumble 2001 when Raven turned the Royal Rumble match into a hardcore Royal Rumble
That was actually kind of cool. Forgot about that.
Yeah, I love when the Royal Rumbles kind of do that to have a slightly different take. Like when OTT did the local Rumble and tag teams could enter as one.
I love that idea.
That's amazing.
Yeah,
that's brilliant.
Great idea.
But yeah, that's been your listener messages. We're going to get into them. What was your first experience of hardcore wrestling?
My first experience of proper hardcore wrestling, I suppose, would have been out in a friend's house. You know, a little primary school sleepover. A few of the lads doing an old sleepover,
battering each other,
and one of the lad whose house we were in. Got his older brother was either in college or in a boarding school, but 5-6 years older, had brought him home some ECW tapes.
No way.
Yeah.
I was a lot later getting to ECW.
So that was at this stage, we're 11, 12 years of age. So this is 98, 99. We've all heard of ECW.
Yeah.
We've seen the pictures in the magazines.
So would you not have classified any WWF stuff as hardcore up to that point?
I suppose, yeah, probably. But in terms of it being this, with WWF, I think you're looking at kind of
by proxy is a cage match not almost a hardcore match?
It probably is. If we want, I could go back to I don't know, some of the early cage matches I saw. But in terms of presentation and WWF hardcore, even the most hardcore stuff. Well, no, aside from some of a select few matches throughout WWE, WWF history, even their hardcore stuff is kind of sanitized.
Yeah, there's a sanitized element to it.
Yeah, so this is...
But seeing Bret Hart with the table spot.
That was very cool.
With Diesel and stuff. That's pretty badass. Mick Foley doing it at Mind Games with Shawn Michaels.
Yeah, that's
obviously
fantastic
the Hell in a
match.
Cell 97 is very gory, it's very bloody, and you get to 98, and 98 is inconceivable.
By the time 98 comes around, they're just leaning into what ECW had found.
Yeah, but that you still would have been exposed to that.
Yeah, I would have
ECW.
been exposed. Yeah, it's true. Well, it was around that time. I'd say I can't remember the exact year I seen that tape. It would have been 97, 98. But you've seen Sabu and Tommy Dreamer and Raven and everything.
There was a hardcore guys have this very kind of different aura, I suppose is the right word. A different, completely different aesthetic, which sometimes comes across as cheap when they get to WWF, but in their own setting, it's pretty badass.
Just watching ECW at that time, coming from my only real exposure to wrestling being what we see with WCW and WWF at the time, kind of the glitz and glamour element of it and the pyro and all this kind of stuff. And then you get a tape of ECW, it felt like you were watching
something illegal.
Something totally underground, which I suppose it was kind of the underground thing at the time.
Yeah. There's such a fascination about the history of hardcore wrestling to me, because you hear stories, or I heard stories growing up about ECW and then about Abdullah the Butcher.
Well, I suppose Abdullah is
the Sheik.
Abdullah and the Sheik are the, well, maybe not the
did
pioneers.
you know, wrestling was banned in England in like the 40s because of their use of weapons in the wrestling. Yeah. So I think the
I
use
wonder,
of
is that why the style became so World of Sports-ish
quite possibly,
afterwards?
yeah. Like
Did they have
I
to,
think it started in like the 20s or 30s to start introducing like weapons. And it got banned in like 1947 or something like that. Some promotion called All In Wrestling.
That's a good, cool name.
Yeah, back then, like.
Yeah.
Ahead of their time. But yeah, that's when like maybe the origins of hardcore started.
Well, and then you get, I suppose, in like the kind of, I suppose, the 70s, the original Texas Step matches.
Yeah, or like, so you would have had...
But they weren't like exactly like what we classify as hardcore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, like there was a lot of bloody brawls. Like when you talk about Abdullah, Bobo Brazil, fucking Sheik.
Abdullah and Sheik, they used to stab each other with forks in the 70s.
Yeah.
So I think that's probably where you could trace the beginnings of the modern style. Like you had Bruiser Brody and all were doing bloody brawls and even like dog collar matches and you know what I mean?
But like the concession stand brawl in Memphis, a lot of people attribute that as the birth of...
What year was that? 80...
What have been before that? Because like that was like fighting all around the arena stuff.
Yeah.
And
but
then
you had Brody doing that though.
Carlos Colon doing that.
They were mad for it in Puerto Rico.
WWC, was it the World Wrestling Council?
World Wrestling Council, yeah. They were mad for it in Puerto Rico.
Mad for stabbing in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. Well, actually, I have a great story about a hardcore legend in the aftermath of the stabbing with a little plan he had in place.
Tony Atlas.
No.
Going to get someone to stand on his face.
Dude loves feet.
Yeah, that had like the brass knuckle championship for like 3 years in the 70s into the 80s.
Yeah, and that's what FMW then called their title as well.
Used to like wrestle with brass knuckles, I assume.
That's what the FMW heavyweight title was called. It's like the brass knuckles heavyweight champion or whatever.
There's something visceral about watching, say, a dog collar match, or watch it like from the eggs, watching Sergeant Slaughter and Greg Valentine.
It's dog collar match. Is that the best stip in the history of wrestling?
Yes and no, because the premise of it is quite good, but are you not someone limited by like your finishes to it? Like we've seen a lot of choking finishes with it and stuff. I suppose you can just wrestle a normal match.
I just think like the premise is so great.
Like and there's not much to it.
Yeah,
like, so but simple. You can't do it all the time.
No, it has to be sparing.
Yeah.
I've gone down a rabbit hole of what I would classify maybe as a kind of a modern indie bit of a hardcore legend, Mad Dog Conley. He's like the specialist of dog collar matches at the moment, and it's just like...
It's fucking horrendous.
Fucking so great. These matches are so fucking great.
Like...
So great.
Obviously, the current iterations that we've had have been like CM Punk adjacent.
Yeah, well, you had the Punk one with MJF, which like
Punk and Raven
in 05.
Yeah.
And then the Briscoes and FTR. That might be the best dog collar match ever. Like, you know what I mean? Like that was just out of this world great. Like, but then you go back to some of them 80s ones. I was watching. This guy has a thread on Twitter that I've bookmarked of it's like 10 or 12 different dog collar matches from the 80s, all for free on YouTube, like mad, and a load of them are down in WWC in Puerto Rico, where it looks like a kind of a basketball arena.
Yeah, the lights are really bright, like
really bright, like and they're just like 45 feet outside the ring, like off over there, just battering each other. I was like, yes, yeah. But like growing up, I wasn't. Who was it? Was it Maxie said there about being crap? Was it
Brian Maxwell? Yeah.
Yeah, I would have been previously of that opinion.
But like, is it crap because the stakes have become like we've become accustomed to chair shots? We've come accustomed to all the stuff like. Terry Funk hitting a pile driver on Ric Flair through a table in the 80s
was the biggest angle of 1989.
Exactly.
That was the biggest angle of the year.
Someone going through a table now.
Who do you blame for that?
Doesn't matter. Slim Jim.
Well, a part of the problem is the fucking Slim Jim is on it.
But like, it's the evolution of wrestling. Like, you look at a DDT.
Same with everything.
A DDT is a transitional move now.
I still think you can... I still think you can sell a pile driver through a table as...
Well, they've sold pile drivers again because they banned them for so long. So
Yeah,
when,
they started...
So when Kevin Owens was doing it...
Yeah,
you know
and you had MJF when he did it to Daniel Garcia that time off the second rope. And Garcia was out for like 3 months. You know what I mean? Or whatever, however long. There has been an attempt to kind of bring that back. But like, in terms of... Yeah, like, I don't know. There's a delineation for me between... Let's say, like, I got into, over the last few years, watching, them, the FMW, like, Onita matches that are just the most
crazy,
ridiculous shit that you'll ever see. But then, like, you see stuff then on some modern indies, the light tube stuff and all that kind of thing. And some of that, like, I can get what Brian Maxwell's saying in terms of some of that to me does feel trash.
Yeah.
But there's also is like and it's just the same with wrestling as well. Like, people say, "Oh, modern and flippy do wrestlers," but some of these modern wrestlers who use flips are masters of storytelling while doing it.
And that's the big thing with hardcore wrestling. So when I tell people I like hardcore wrestling, they immediately think tournament of death, or like,
some of that shit is good though.
Some mad, but like what I'm talking about is like a wrestling match that have hardcore elements in it.
Yeah,
and Mick Foley to me was the fucking master of that.
Because
Mick Foley can go out and have a fucking a grand match without using anything.
Yeah,
but like, when like even his little like, I'm Cactus Jack now. Now you're like, fuck, shit is on.
Real, yeah.
And now you know it's going to be.
The thing with Foley, when it came to that style of hardcore wrestling, and like probably a lot of the 2000s indie scene, I would say the two people that most influenced that, and you could add other people to this list, but I think the big two come from the 90s were Foley and Sabu.
Funk, no?
Funk as well, but I kind of, in some ways, Foley and Funk are kind of so intertwined, it's almost one. And of their thing, Foley's the one that stands out as being the bigger influence at that time. And then Sabu would have influenced a variation of what Foley was doing. And but one thing that a lot of the real like dirty death match stuff of the 2000s didn't pick up from Sabu and Foley was like the heart and the emotion, and like the way I see it, kind of with Foley, it was like pain as emotion, whereas with Sabu it was almost self-sacrifice to achieve something.
Yeah.
Like, Sabu's whole thing was, I'm using my body and the surroundings
as a weapon.
Whereas with Foley's thing was, I'm using my ability to take pain as a weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they kind of had two slightly different ways of doing it.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because, like, I remember being so enamored with backyard wrestling at the time.
There's
like,
so much cool shit there.
Back in like the early 2000s or whatever, when the backyard wrestling DVDs came out and the backyard wrestling video games came out, and you had the videos of highlight reels, and that's what they were great looking at, highlight reels. Nick Mundo.
Oh man,
getting like, that guy could fucking move, but getting like a weed whacker. On his stomach, thrown in light tubes, and whether they like gimmick this or not, like the actual thought of his back going through all these light tubes and then pouring salt all over it, you're like, that's fucking crazy.
Nick Mundo was a sick man.
Zandig throwing him off the top of the fucking building in CZW. Like, that shit is nuts. Like, what they went through and what they continually do. Like,
sure, you look at like Zandig, how he was doing that for years. Like,
do you think they bypassed ECW? Yeah, of course they bypassed ECW
in terms of extremity.
Yeah,
100%. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Like, again, but
like they had to.
Yeah,
in turn to stand out.
Like, how do we become the modern ECW? Well, we have to go further than the original ECW,
and that's just evolution of stuff.
But like, the crazy thing is, I don't know if any of them really went as far as what Onita and those guys did in FMW.
In CZW.
Yeah, like in CZW, right?
A lot of glass.
There was a lot of glass, so those guys are going to pick up a lot of like superficial injuries, stitches.
Well, like Nick Gage, like fucking one of his arteries got caught.
Yeah, that was real bad. Like, he was literally bleeding out there and then. But like, do you ever see the Sabu and Sheik versus Onita and was it Tarzan Goto or one of them lads in a Ring of Fire match, right? So they soak like towels in kerosene and drape them on the ropes of the ring. Now it might have been a 6-man match, but those with same cast of characters. And they soak towels in kerosene and drape them on the ropes of the ring. And then they set the kerosene drape or soaked towels on fire, right? And the match starts, and these guys are in the ring, and the flames are fucking like insane. So basically, Onita has to turn to, I think it was Sheik or whoever, like after like I think the match on like 3 minutes, and he has to be like, we need to wrap this match up. Like this is unbearable, and like because there was so much fire.
Like the heat in the ring as well.
Without being surrounded, like I mean, like do you know when WWE did the Inferno match, you had the little flame going on. I'd say that was super hot.
Yeah,
I'd
say crazy.
This looked like a cage of fire, and Onita had to turn to I think it was Sheik and was like, we need to wrap this up right now, like, you know. Sheik ended up with 3rd-degree burns. The match was 3 minutes, right? The fire burned apparently for 6 hours afterwards. The crew, it was in a car park in Japan. They couldn't put the fire out. And like, what they did, like, you know, they finished up the match, but then they did the typical Sheik brawl into the crowd for like 10 minutes afterwards. And Sabu was trying to douse the Sheik with water, right? And the Sheik is telling him not to do it because he still wants to do his blow the fire spot on Onita, but he didn't want to get his hands wet before he did it. But he's there like 3rd-degree burns. It's
nuts.
One of the most insane visuals you'll ever see.
When he got 3rd-degree burns or whatever, remember in the Elimination Chamber and the pyro went off?
The pyro went off, yeah. Fucking
Terry Funk had an incident with Mick Foley. I think Mick Foley was going to hit him with a chair. And with a chair on fire or something like that, and the towel fell off and like wrapped around Funk.
Yeah. Fuck.
But like that kind of like while visually stimulating for us, like there has to be. I think we've jumped the shark in terms of hardcore wrestling because.
Well, I genuinely think, like after the Onita stuff and then later the CCW stuff. After that,
that was hidden though. Like that was.
You mean not mainstream? Like
that was niche. Like I think now that we've hit the mainstream and WWE have produced their type of hardcore wrestling, and then AEW are doing some really, in my opinion, stupid shit with hardcore wrestling. Like what hardcore match is fucking? And I love Darby Allin. Like Darby Allin really fucking stands out, but sometimes he needs to be curbed in. Like in terms of
like he's nearly a spiritual successor to Sabu.
Like that Mox fucking spot with the fucking nails. Oh, it's fucking disgusting. Like
apparently they used glue.
How does the glue stay?
I don't know. It was like the bat of nails on his back, and the skin stretching out like 5 inches.
Yeah, because he took a fucking.
What was the move?
A suplex.
Suplex on. Yeah. Was it suplex or back body? Something anyway.
That sticks in your back, like.
Yeah, but that single visual completely changed the perception of Mox in the early half of this year.
Like Mox did a cool thing before with like a blade. It was a blunt blade, but he was already bleeding, and the blade was on like a fucking cutter thing.
Right.
So the blade was going across his head like that, and it looked like it was
getting sliced, but he's already bleeding.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just moving the blood around.
The thing about AEW is.
Well, like AEW have gone to fucking like stab. I just can't get into stabbings. Like I'm sorry.
No, stabbings in my opinion are stupid because they are the type of thing that's world breaking. You know, like I don't think you should.
It's like if you brought a gun.
Yeah,
like
that's
world
breaking. It's world breaking.
Yeah, like Pillman did it. I know they did
different. He didn't do it in a match.
Yeah, they did it in TNA for a wedding or something. Someone got shot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was prime TNA, lad.
Well, speaking like of TNA, like coming up from
Abyss did some sick shit there.
His Monster Brawl matches, like Jeff Hardy, of course. We could talk about him for fucking days, like he is hardcore as well.
Yeah, like in a different way though. That's what I like about him.
His fucking dive on Abyss from the top of the like TNA thing.
Yeah.
Over the ramp onto the floor through like one table.
That looked like it was like he flew. Like.
It was I remember recording that on my Sagem phone, and like it been so pixelated to fuck.
Watching it a million times.
Watched it a million times. It was so fucking good. So good. And like Jeff Hardy's such an innovator when it comes to that, like just diving off shit, I suppose.
Yeah. Like he was kind of, I suppose, he would have been of the Cebu disciples of hardcore, you know.
Like those ladder matches, TLC matches, like I think WrestleMania 17 is up there as one of the best matches.
You have that unbelievable. Is that triple threat hardcore title match?
Exactly. So you have Raven, Big Show, and Kane.
That was brilliant.
You have Shane and Vince.
Yes.
You have the TLC match, and then you have the elements that are hardcore between Triple H and Undertaker.
Yeah, like and even some in like you had the
chair shots and fucking,
and also kind of the Bruiser Brody style brawling into the crowd from The Rock and Austin as well.
In the crowd?
I think they brawled into the crowd quite early in the match.
Triple H and Undertaker definitely did anyway.
Yeah. That was a heavily infused. And the problem, the WWE there when they got initially influenced by ECW, say 98, 99, 2000, 2001, they were doing some really cool, innovative shit. Like TLC was super innovative first time, but there were a lot of it, not all of it. A lot of it was actually kind of safe. But the problem that I felt they had after a while was,
but TLC stuff was safe.
No. In general, what WWE was doing was safe.
Yeah, like when you look at the hardcore division, the 24/7.
That just became a comedy thing.
Yeah, I know, but like it was just like, oh, here's the trash can. Here's
all super safe.
Yeah,
that's all super safe. You know what I mean? But then you would have like Foley and a few others who were doing things for going, that's not safe, but it's fucking awesome.
But like you have to leave them to do it. That's where I think AEW kind of fall back on. They've gotten better on it on the pay-per-views there recently. I think there was a match I was watching or a pay-per-view I was watching, and the table was only used once. And I was like, good.
That's what it should be.
That's what it should be. Not everyone should be using the fucking table.
think
someone should be producing the fucking show.
I do think though what AEW have done exceptionally well with that is they have so their style of hardcore, we'll say, isn't influenced by the early 2000s WWE style of hardcore. It's more by like the kind of Terry Funk stuff before that, the Jim Crockett style. And so they've brought, because what WWE won't and probably can't do now, they'll do it like they kind of eared towards it with Punk and Drew in the Cell, which was fantastic. They eared towards that gritty thing there.
Yeah, but I would argue that might stand out more than anything AEW has done.
No, I think there's some things in AEW that stand out way more.
That Hell in a Cell match probably stands out more to me than.
Well, that's because you're a punk mark.
But as in like more so than Swerve and Hangman.
Well, I would say the last Swerve Hangman match, the one in the cage.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot in that. To me, stood out. I thought it was a really good match.
They stuck a syringe in his face, the wooden stake, fucking cinder blocks.
The cinder block thing was fucking amazing. I thought that was amazing. But I thought of their 4 matches,
but like Drew's
was the worst.
Claymore onto the stairs.
That was deadly.
Unreal.
Yeah. And
like getting split up by the toolbox.
That was brilliant as well.
He didn't mean to, but...
Yeah, but it worked.
Yeah.
I thought there's a couple of things in some of the AEW matches that are like seared into my brain. One is the spikes in the back of Mox.
You like these staples?
When
stapled his tongue.
This tongue thing was fine, but when he stapled the picture from the kid's fridge onto his head,
that's what I'm saying. Is trying to incorporate storytelling into it.
That was brilliant, and also the Hangman hanging Mox twice with the chain.
Yeah,
and then Swerve hanging Hangman with the chain. The way all that tied back in together.
Someone else got hanged by a chain there recently. Mox
that's what I mean. Yeah, Hangman
Mox and Darby.
Did he do the chain?
Right at the start of the I Quit match, he does the chain around the neck,
and
Mox sells it like a motherfucker.
Yeah, Mox is so good at selling that.
Yeah,
he's brilliant at it.
You know why? He's probably legit being fucking choked.
Maybe. But he gets his kind of arse on the edge of the ring, and I think that gives him. But
speaking of Mox, like he's his initial.
So he was in CCW, wasn't he?
Yeah. But the Switchblades or something like that, they were called, him and Sammy Callahan. But like the initial thought process of bringing Jon Moxley up to the main roster was possibly having a feud with Foley.
Yeah.
And that was based around Foley making hardcore wrestling so mainstream that so many people have
ruined their
bodies trying to do that, and he had a problem with that, which is such a fucking cool story.
Great story. I know, wasn't it that Foley couldn't get cleared?
Yeah.
Yeah, that it got nixed.
Because, he did so much fucking mad shit.
yeah. Like, sure, the guy's hips are gone, but the bumps he took as well. Like, actually, in many ways, it wasn't the hardcore wrestling that done his body in. It was just... He used to do like, if you look back on his Vader matches from the early 90s in WCW, and then even
He's wrapped around Vader, and Vader fucking does like a back.
Yeah.
He jumps on his back, puts all his weight
Or even, he took these bumps against Shawn Michaels in the In Your House match in 96 with Mind Games. Like when he bumps out of the ring and he lands on like the cement outside.
Sure, like
he lands on his hips.
His finisher was a fucking... for years was an elbow drop to the outside.
Outside, yeah. Landing on your hip. Like, that's what fucked him up.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, I'm sure the chair shots didn't do him a whole world of good when he took 78 chair shots direct to the dome off the Rock. Yeah. I'm sure it wasn't good for him, but I genuinely think...
Such a good match, though.
But you think... Look, I know we're going to do a Foley podcast at some stage.
We were actually going to do one today, but John Martin was like, not without me, Ian.
It's his favourite wrestler. Yeah, and he's
my favourite wrestler.
I think he's top 3 for me as well.
Bang.
Like, I've said that originally when I joined the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show, the first thing I wanted to do was like a video essay on Foley, and I just didn't know how to actually...
Kingslayer. All you have to do is write it and I'll do it.
Oh yeah, it's true, I suppose as well.
That's what I said.
Well, I said I had the first few pages of the script written, and then it was just swelling to like... I was like, this going to be 100-page script.
So just do it.
And like, but it was also the way Foley used hardcore as a rite of passage for up and coming wrestlers.
He would elevate
everyone.
People, like Sting. You can go back
Elevate Sting.
You can go back as far as Sting.
Yeah.
Like
Vader.
It gave him that grit. Well, I would argue Vader already had that grit.
Yeah, but with Vader at the time was relatively new to American audiences. Like,
yeah, he came in 1990.
91?
Great American Bash 1990.
Was it? Yeah, okay.
Against the Z-Man.
Tom Zank.
He
got married in the in-universe thing
recently. I've seen that. You did a lovely tribute to him.
Nice, wasn't it?
It was like,
What about my message from Larry Zabisco saying Paul Levesque sells for crap?
Oh, yeah. You were delighted with that. You need to make something out of that Paul Levesque guy.
Look, we're coming to the end of the series now.
I know, yeah. You're only doing 10 episodes, isn't it?
Well,
you were kind of sad, aren't you?
That means that next week is technically episode 10, which means I have 10 weeks of TV and 2 pay-per-views to do in one episode. That'll take 4 hours.
It isn't episode 10, isn't it?
It is, yeah. That was episode 9.
No way.
Yeah.
So that's your last episode.
Well, I'm not. I might split it in 2. Like.
Part 1, Part 2, episode 10.
Episode 10, Part 1, episode 10, Part 2.
Episode 11. Do 12 episodes in any grand.
Well, I have 2 pay-per-views left. And then I'm moving on to the new project. That's still secret.
Do you want to move on to a new project, or do you want to still do?
No, I'm moving on. The game's got too easy. I'm getting 99s left, right, and centre. Like, you know, I want to start with an Irish company with 0 popularity and
challenge yourself
and build it up to being the biggest company in the world.
Frankie Vendetta, throw him.
I'll get you in. Or him.
Yeah, like fucking. So Foley, like he did it with Sting. Did it with Michaels.
Yeah.
Did it with The Rock. Did it with Triple H.
Did it with The Undertaker.
Did it with The Undertaker.
Because, like, people forget.
Undertaker would have had John Gonzalez. King Kong Bundy, I think WrestleMania 11 was his fucking opponent.
And also, Undertaker had, like, a string of really poorly performing feuds and culminated really with that fucking double Undertaker shit.
Well, no, then he had, like, Camu Mustafa.
Yeah. Like, nothing was clicking. And so, what did it do?
Bring in Foley.
And then Undertaker is automatically hot again.
Yeah, did it in 2000 again with Triple H.
Yeah, he made Triple H.
Did it with
in fact, I think that should disqualify him from every Hall of Fame ever because he's saddled us with Triple H.
Did it with Orton in 04. Did it with Edge in 06.
Yeah.
Like ECW One Night Stand, the second one. Him and Edge against Terry Funk and Tommy Dreamer.
It's fucking brilliant.
And like ECW One Night Stand, the first one, like that's up there with WrestleMania 17 for me as like such a cathartic event.
I would say that's like a top 3 WWE pay-per-view ever.
Like, because you like when you're watching a pay-per-view, especially around that time, you're putting up with a lot of shit to get to the good stuff. You know what I mean?
People don't realize.
Especially like branded splits that we just after coming
people don't realize. You know, like if you're in your mid-20s today and like mid 2000s to 2023 was like.
But like,
There wasn't a single good pay-per-view start to finish
like
for 18 years.
Yeah, but like I'm meeting like wrestlers who are
Young, that age
young,
profile, yeah.
like love it, and then I'm going. Maybe I'm just the old curmudgeon.
It's not a curmudgeon thing. Almost every pay-per-view in that 18-year spell, start to finish, was 50% dog shit.
Some good matches, some good moments.
I mean, they did have some, like, Eddie Guerrero was on some of these shows. Of course they had great
John
shit.
Cena, Numaga, Last Man Standing.
I love that match. You know, there was, like, CM Punk was in some matches. Like, of course there was great shit there. But 50% of the cards were piss poor.
Hardcore wrestling then, where does it fit in like today's? Do you think like by Maxwell, so many people are turned off it, or because like there was a lot of fucking shit about that drowning spot.
That was such a good spot.
I thought it was a great spot. It's clever.
Yeah,
I suppose
because that's something that like right
it's different.
But see the fire thing is like a thing that's universe breaking because like. You know, and I didn't like the stuff when Darby was coming out with the flamethrower and all.
Yeah, stupid.
Yeah, because
Hank Scorpio. Like, there's a good reference.
Yeah,
for you.
Brilliant. You know that like, you know, even at the previous pay per view when he kind of set Mox on fire in the body bag, you know that body bag is fireproof. Blah 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 blah. But the water thing is something that like, kind of gets into an inherent fear in all of us, and I just thought it was like. That's a genius spot because Darby's absolutely fine. He's not getting hurt one bit, but there's this visceral look, but also it hints at an inner fear that everyone has of drowning, and then just the idea of all that water being left in the ring and. It the glass. It created just this great fucking feeling and visual. I thought.
Like one of my favorite matches from the OTT 11th anniversary was Myla Grace and Raven Creed.
Fucking brilliant.
It was a great match.
It was my second favorite match on the show.
What was your favorite?
Tag. Yeah, that was brilliant.
I love that style of wrestling. So they burst out the tacks and all that kind of stuff.
But also, it was really inventive as well because of the stip.
The stip was, just in case you're not accustomed to OTT, is that Myla Grace could not get disqualified, but Raven could.
Yeah, basically. And if Raven got disqualified, she lost the title.
But like that type, the storytelling in that was was very clever.
So they used like, and this is what I suppose the point we're getting to is like when hardcore wrestling is used as a storytelling vehicle, it can be brilliant. When it's just been done for the sake of it, then it's
like look at Necro Butcher's match with Samoa Joe.
Yeah,
like the story there was a clash of styles, and could Joe fuck up the Necro Butcher? The answer is yes.
Yeah, because it's Samoa Joe,
but also it's Necro Butcher, so there's going to be some mad shit. But it made people kind of go, I would imagine a lot of people couldn't go. Oh, I know this Necro Butcher match and this Necro Butcher match, but everyone knows Samoa Joe and Necro Butcher because you hear the tales of...
That was voted 5th best match ever there on that recent poll.
Elliot's Wrestling or something, was it?
Well, no, he's a guy who has a vote in it. Yeah.
But, that still intrigues me to this day, and I'll go back and watch it and look at Necro Butcher unable to take, exploding suplexes and landing on his head, and you're just like, fuck, man.
Yeah, he literally landed on the back of his neck.
I think someone that has and there's a great story told throughout that. I think someone else who has the hardcore thing down is Mark Briscoe.
Oh, yeah.
I thought...
Briscoe's in general.
I was like, how's Tax and Tables going to work? His match with MJF. And it was really worked.
That was genius.
And I would put MJF down on a lot of that as well.
Yeah, MJF is a totally underratedly great stip wrestler. He has... You look at the body of work he's managed to build up now. He's a great wrestler. But you look at the body of work he's built up in those kind of crazy stip matches now. Like he has the dog collar with Punk. He has that Tums and Tax one with Briscoe. He has that. Like, how do you go from those two to then
an hour with Danielson?
Like he's built in various styles of stipulations. Fucking that guy's 27. It's crazy.
Yeah, it is nuts
that he's done all that. But the stretcher match, Briscoe and Ricochet.
Yeah,
remember how great that was.
Briscoe again.
He,
and he kind of has that Sabu-esque about him. I know, it's easy to say, jumping on fucking tables and stuff, but he has this kind of like
ultimate sacrifice type thing.
I'm putting my body on the fucking line here to fuck you up.
And you believe him as well. Like, that was the beauty of the MJF match, was that MJF played it like so great a heel. I don't want to go near these tacks. I'm wearing gloves. I've got my special boots on. Briscoe's like, yeah, fuck me into the tacks. I don't care, because eventually I'm putting you
so
on.
many times.
Yeah. Eventually I'm putting you on them. I was like, but like, even like, go back and watch some of them. Do you know that match, the Jay Briscoe and Mark Briscoe on, when they're like 20, maybe like 19 years old? Don't even think it was Ring of Honor.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I think it was at like some fairgrounds type thing.
Class.
And the two boys are just whacking each other straight in the face with steel chairs for about somewhere between 6 and 10 minutes, and then Jay pins Mark. And it's just fucking brilliant, like. But those two again are guys that like you'd buy everything. Like, you believe that that's something they would do, like, you know.
Yeah, hardcore, like, I'm sure there's always been hardcore. Like, even when you're thinking of like Honky Tonk Man with the
guitar, yeah.
That's a hardcore.
That's a hardcore move. Yeah.
Which is interesting, because you don't think of Honky Tonk Man as a hardcore guy, but like, he uses a foreign object, I suppose, and a very visual foreign object,
like the
as
way
opposed
those
to like,
whatever, and Jeff Jarrett after that same thing.
But as opposed to like Jim Cornette with the racket, or
the loaded
Big Boss
racket
Man with the nightstick, like the fucking guitar break is like iconic, I think.
It just looks so great, like things splintering everywhere, you know.
But like, the issue now that I'm having is like, that looks so simple and so great, and obviously it's not gratuitous, and it's not like used as a crutch within a match. It's used to end the match. But then you see like lads taking fucking mad bumps on like the top of the steel chair, like Adam Cole, like against fucking Aleister Black in NXT. And they're like,
oh my god, that just
insane.
looks really sore.
Like, it's insane, because like, they have to push the limits to satiate the hunger that
is it even satiate the hunger, or is it that, well, we can't do what they did 20 years ago because it's been done so often?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So that, like, you can't. So that's satiating the hunger of the fans.
Yeah. Because then, like, I suppose if you do something like, you know, a simple old DDT on a chair, right?
Yeah.
Like, you do that, and it's like, you get the pin. Are the fans left going, huh? That finished the match?
Yeah.
Like,
Or a sharpshooter.
Or a sharp, yeah.
In a night quit match.
Yeah.
Did you see that
submission match?
Did you see that thing of the film director in Mexico?
Yes, this is the thing that kicked off the Gail Kim fucking meltdown. Yeah,
I watched that in awe. I have no, but like, that's the thing about hardcore wrestling, is moments.
I have no context of that. I can't judge it. It looked crazy, but like, maybe that's a part of an insane storyline.
You know what's interesting is that, you know, the WWE are after these moments now. I was looking at a video yesterday, and they talk about Netflix are hyper conscious now of the second screen in the room.
Yeah.
This is your phone.
Yes. Oh,
So-
this is going on a while. You told me about this before.
Yeah.
About like, Netflix writing stuff basically to be on in the background.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like,
Or is this an evolution of what you told me before?
yeah, well, I don't think I told you that thing about Netflix. So my argument was that WWE are doing these hyper long ads during pay-per-views, so people have time to go on their phones and to fucking, you know, dick about or whatever, and then focus on the match when it's happening. And I think maybe I'm giving them a bit too much credence there, because now they're gone so
ad heavy.
so invested in the moments aspect of wrestling.
Well, I think that's their desire to be viral.
But like, deathmatch wrestling's perfect for that.
I know, but
because there's no psychology, like, really.
But
I'm sure there's deathmatch wrestlers out there that would take exception to that if they listen.
There is a lot of it. There is a lot of it.
But like, what I'm saying is they build up to like these fucking very big moments in matches. You know what I mean? Going off a load of cars into a fucking barbed wire glass ring.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're building up to that. The stuff that'll get your attention. So like, do you think?
I know, but they have sponsors to.
Yeah, I know, but what I'm saying is, do you think we're going to see more? Could you possibly see more of these kind of death-defying stunts done in a safe, sanitized way, like Shane McMahon jumping off the Hell in a Cell onto a table that is obviously like beanbag,
or the Chris Jericho off the blood and guts structure thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. I suppose you could, but like with the way WWE is doing their shit at the moment, like I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. Yeah, I don't see it happening. With you look at that company now, and they just feel like they're not really interested in wrestling. To be perfectly honest, and then like if you're a worker in that company, right? What incentive is there for you to do something mad?
Money.
No, yeah, but I don't even think like you can get the same money by doing everything super safe.
Everything is
They've
been
made
done.
Gunter safe, like.
Well, bar that time, like, yeah, but like once again, it's moments. So the time Gunter bet the shit out of Jimmy and was covered in blood, that will live like in your head
That was brilliant.
because like it's so
Unique there now.
Exactly.
Rare, yeah.
So it's moments.
Yeah, but like nothing of interest happened since. Like, it's, like shit is so anything like that feels. Basically, they have this like adversity to doing something that feels dangerous. It's so like they never do it. They're afraid to do it. They won't even push a 28-year-old who's been in the company 6 years because they're afraid that the crowd won't react the exact way they want them to.
Yeah, fair enough though, I think.
No, it's
but
not.
you know what's crazy though? Like Mick Foley's run, like he comes in 96?
96, yeah.
He's in a retirement match in 2000.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He comes back a month later.
He come back a month later, but like
Look, Terry Funk was his idol.
he comes after what? WrestleMania 12. So like
Yeah.
when you look at his actual run,
Yeah.
it's 4 years.
Well, look, he did so many comebacks.
Yeah, I know, but his
That it
actual
feels like it's 10
he
years.
went from, and like I know there's a history of Mick Foley before that, but like we got Mankind, Dude Love, Cactus Jack, flipping and flopping between
And
all
Mick
those
Foley.
and Mick Foley in those 4 years.
Yeah. One character a year, basically.
You know, but
Yeah.
like that's crazy how you know you look at that and go at the impact that he has had in just those four fucking
Now look,
years. Same with Austin. He
then he did
comes
the-
in a bit earlier.
Yeah, but Austin only did 5 years, really, as well. Like,
Same with The Rock.
yeah, 5 years, 97 2002, really.
Like crazy. Well,
Like,
The Rock comes in Survivor Series
Like,
96.
here's the thing. 6 years for The Rock, then. Braun Breakers with WWE now, basically as long.
But there's a complete different, like, bar The Rock,
Hey.
like, Austin
Yeah,
was wrestling in late 80s. Same with Mick Foley.
What did Austin debut? 89, 88?
88, I think.
Foley was 88 or 89 as well.
Before that, I think 86 even.
Was it?
Yeah.
The Rock was obviously his debut. Kind of. He did some stuff.
I think he was in the USWA or Memphis or something. It's Flex Cabana.
Yeah, he did Flex Cabana for, was it 6 months or something? Very short, anyway. But like, oh yeah, I don't know. It's again, that's the risk adverse thing, is not pushing guys, like, you know, like they're doing this WWE Championship match now between Punk and fucking Jey Uso.
Give it a Punk.
Oh, obviously give it to Punk, but like, here's the thing: even for Punk to win that now, like him beating Jey Uso for the title feels like.
I think we're
extremely
set. I think we're
underwhelming.
set up for a Punk heel turn.
We have to be like.
It has to be Punk and Cole.
I know, but like, then you go, how do you do Punk versus Braun Breaker down the line if they're both heels? That's why it would have been perfect if Braun Breaker did get some babyface shine.
We're here to talk about hardcore wrestling.
Yeah, but see, this thing, to get back to hardcore wrestling, like WWE in the last 20 years have had a few glimpses of good hardcore wrestling. Like, I mean, minute glimpses. When you had Cody Rhodes kill Kevin Owens on that ladder, and now Kevin Owens is fucked.
Not from that, though.
No, I'm joking. Yeah, I was equating the two, and he was fucked anyway. You had the Punk Drew in the cell. And after that, everything is just like all them Bloodlines rules matches were the most sanitized shite I've ever seen.
Cody and Sess in the cell.
Well, that was more the pre-existing Cody injury.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't do anything.
That's still hardcore, man.
Or like, in terms of like it being a badass thing to do, that shit was hardcore.
I can't believe like we're talking about hardcore. We haven't talked about we haven't mentioned Sandman once. Well, no, we have at the start.
we did,
with
yeah,
the busting the can.
Yeah, we could go through. Well, don't we plan on doing an actual full ECW episode anyway?
I think so. Sandman, Mike Awesome, Just
there
like
you
the
go.
way
Like,
the
'cause,
way
like,
Mike Awesome wrestled.
like the thing about Mike Awesome, do you know what was so great about ECW? Let's just talk about that part of it now. Like you had Sabu, Taz, Sandman, Tommy Dreamer, Mike Awesome, right? Just pick those 5. They were all totally different in their interactions with what hardcore and extreme was. Like they were all like you know, say Sandman and Tommy Dreamer kind of similar. They're brawlers hardcore.
Yeah.
And then you have like Sabu is a high flyer hardcore. And then like they were all other types of wrestlers.
Taz was like a technical wrestler.
Technical and then hardcore. And then Mike Awesome was your typical powerhouse, but hardcore.
Yeah.
So they took pre-existing stereotypes or like prototypes of wrestlers and applied it to a hardcore setting.
And by the nature of the way ECW was, you could believe and buy into a Spike Dudley
Mike Awesome
match or Spike Dudley Bam Bam Bigelow fucking match or
like Bam Bam had such a great short run
nice
there.
resurgence there.
Yeah.
But then a lot of those wrestlers end up in, say, WWF's version of hardcore wrestling or WC fucking W's
Even
version
worse.
of hardcore wrestling, which was fucking dog shit.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's
What was that WCW match where like 11 lads got injured because they were doing the dumbest shit ever?
Backlot Brawl or
The
something.
Backlot Brawl, yeah.
And then they had Backstage Assault, that video game, which is a lot of shit.
yeah.
Just like the Backyard Wrestling game was a lot of shit.
Like, yeah, that's what I think the really great thing about ECW is. It wasn't just a load of guys, because this is some, like, I haven't seen a lot of CCW, but I have seen some. One of my issues with CCW was they were, most of those guys were deathmatch guys. Whereas with ECW, you had prototypes of more familiar styles of wrestlers who were then applying that to a hardcore setting. And that's what I loved about
I
it.
was chatting to that guy at the weekend.
Big Trent.
Yeah.
Our European champion.
Yeah, I was chatting to him, like, proper fucking nice chap. Really nice guy. But he had, like, a load of fucking marks in his head. And he was like, what were they from? And he was like, you know, those spikes. He was like, just had a death match yesterday. And I was like, holy shit.
Like the thing that Moxie does with that thing. And again, I would think
So visceral.
that's another thing to me that's probably actually kind of safe, but looks like insane.
But the thing is with wrestling, right?
You've got Jun Kasai as well, we never mentioned.
Yeah.
He's been doing crazy shit for
like, with
25
nails and
for
beds
20
and nails.
years. Like,
But the thing is with wrestling is, right? I look at stuff now. Like, I watched the Dark Side of the Ring of Daphne there recently. Incredibly sad, right? And she took a bump that ended up concussing her. But the bump is off a base through like a board with barbed wire on it. And it doesn't look like the impact was like, you know, and I mean, like, from a viewer point of view, you're like, oh, that's cool, she went through that. But like, it doesn't look like it really hurts.
but she, whatever way she hit, she got
No,
a
but the
concussion.
problem is, everything really hurts. You know what I mean?
But you take a bump on the ring, it's bound to hurt. Like.
Yeah, it fucking sucks. So,
Hey, look,
like,
at my age, I told you about my
man, I've been holding my neck all the fucking whole podcast.
it's kind of a slip disc in my neck, and the physio said to me there the other day, said lie flat on a hard ground surface.
That hurt.
It wasn't the lying down, that was fine. It was my knees getting up and down. I was like, trying to get up. Like, everything hurts. Like, life is pain, Shane. And that's why Mick Foley's the greatest wrestler of all time, because he understood that life was pain and he sacrificed himself for our sins.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That I suppose that's for me. What's your Mount Rushmore of hardcore wrestlers?
Mick Foley,
Obviously.
Cactus Jack, Dude Love, and Mick
And
Foley.
Mankind.
And Mankind, yeah. I don't know. I think it would be illegitimate of me to say Terry Funk or Terry Gordy as a hardcore wrestler, just because
I don't think he fits.
Yeah, he did that stuff towards the latter end of his career. However, his style to me is it's hardcore.
It's Bruiser Brody Brawler style.
It's such.
But see,
Fuck me,
I
like
think
Rob
that's
Van Dam.
different.
Rob Van Dam
could be in there.
Like Rob Van Dam with like when he came, it for him to shine during the invasion,
Amazing.
fucking phenomenal.
He was
the one shining light.
shining light that came
Like
out.
everything else.
I watched. What was his name before he was Rob Van Dam?
Oh, was it him and Sabu?
Yeah,
that
they
you
had
watched?
that. Yeah, they done an old match
yeah,
where
yeah.
he's just wearing a pair of blue trunks
Yeah.
and he has his like short kind of mullety hair. It's one of their, I think it's like maybe Sabu's third ever televised match, and
Yeah.
it's like Robbie V the something. He played like his character was a Polish kickboxer.
Nice.
Yeah, but like that was like 1990 or some shit. But yeah, Rob Van Dam, another guy who did super in it.
Like
but
the
like
Van Terminator and
like yeah, but he was in again to what made
Dominator.
ECW great was he was like this high flying striker technician guy who then
Kick you in the
applied
face with
that
a chair.
yeah, who applied it to the hardcore setting.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what I like about modern AEW stuff. Some of the stuff I can get, but a lot of it is character driven.
I think
as well.
I know what you're saying by Darby Allin almost like a Sabu, but like he also has that Mick Foley-esque of like,
yeah,
I'm gonna like I am not
and
as
there's a bit of Jeff Hardy in him as well.
physically like imposing as you guys.
So I'm willing to do.
Yeah.
But that was the whole Mox match. Is Mox is like, do you know when you go back to what up to probably recently or may still be the best I Quit match ever was The Rock and Foley, I think, what was that? Royal Rumble 99. And it was like The Rock having to go to increasingly more desperate lengths because this motherfucker won't quit.
He had to put handcuffs on him and hit him in the head with chairs
16 times?
numerous times.
And
then you look at the Cactus Jack Triple H match.
Yeah, that wasn't I Quit. Was that Last Man
No, that was
Standing?
Last Man Standing.
Yeah.
Was it Last Man Standing? Yeah. Who's your Mount Rushmore? I'm sure there's some fucking mad Japanese guys in there.
Well, I think you have to put Onita on it.
I wouldn't because like it from a
I think if you're doing
viewing kind of thing.
like
a
but
base,
see, I think in terms of the impact Onita had, like he did, I think it was for Foley and Funk, right? I think when they saw that, Onita was putting huge crowds in stadiums for these matches, that they in their mind said, we can actually take this style.
I
back
get
to
what you're
America.
saying. It's just I'm not as like I haven't seen as much
He'd
say
be my
Onita
only-
as I have like
Yeah.
like Abyss for me. Like getting excited about seeing Sabu and Abyss in a barbed wire match.
I wasn't a huge TNA guy.
I was.
But when the times I tuned in were mainly because
X-Division and Abyss.
Abyss was doing. I remember
An Angle.
when Angle came and the Angle's Mojo stuff. I was bet into that when that happened. But prior to that and post that, it was like, Abyss is doing a Monsters Ball match. Yeah, I'll watch that one.
Once again, it's that thing where there's going to be some class stuff on it, but then there's stuff that you don't like. I wasn't totally enamored with the main event scene outside of Kurt Angle in TNA. Until like AJ got in there,
but that's
maybe
a good
Joe
while
got in
later.
there.
Like.
And then like one of my favorite fucking matches outside of, like on a hardcore basis is Chris Harris and James Storm. They have a Texas death match, and you're like, fuck me.
Yeah, they went for it.
Yeah. In TNA, that's like I remember the blood in that, and like blood really stands out. Like, when Eddie had the gusher, Vince McMahon, for all his credit, had some pretty fucking good bells and whistles hardcore matches
Himself, yeah.
Like Hogan at 19 when he's covered in blood.
That was really good.
Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 22. Obviously Shane at WrestleMania 17.
There was another WWE match I was thinking of that had a gusher in it. That was not the Eddie one. That was more than a gusher. Or maybe it was Cena and Omega. It was
Cena and Omega.
Yeah. I think
And Cena and JBL as well.
Yeah, I think Cena and Omega is actually probably up there as one of WWE's best ever hardcore matches because it came in an era as well when there were so few and far between.
Yeah.
What was that, like 09?
7
was it? Like it had been a couple of years since maybe the previous last great hardcore match I had was over a year
Shawn
earlier.
Michaels and Triple H at SummerSlam 02, and then they had a last man standing.
I don't like that match.
No? They had a good last man standing match at the Royal Rumble.
That was the following year.
I think so.
Yeah, I think that was good.
Covered in blood.
That was the one I liked. The O2 street fight with the jeans, I didn't like that at all. I thought, I was super excited for Shawn Michaels' return at the time. I remember like watching the match, being like, I don't really like this match. Maybe it was just because at this stage I was like, Triple H, you get off my fucking television screen, like. But
if anything out of this though, I hope you go and check out Vice do a cool documentary on the Tournament of Death, and you have your man DJ Hyde in it. I think he's got cancelled there recently. I don't know, maybe not. But
I would assume a lot.
Go check out. Like it is a real like that. That's that. Watching that documentary back when I drank, having a few cans, I was like, I could make something like that, and we did it with the OTT thing.
Yeah, your OTT thing was brilliant.
The ring that tied the room together. But that's a really nice look into deathmatch wrestling. And there's a lot. There's this guy.
I think it's hard to cover all the ground you want. Like, you know.
Yeah. Favorite hardcore moment? Do you have one?
Favorite hardcore moment? It's Foley off the cell. Like,
yeah,
I know it's easy, or it's probably Foley off the cell, because that's just like, I don't know, that's such a game changer of a moment in general, and like it's also Mick Foley. I also love the Edge's spear through Foley onto the burning table as well. Like that was like super fucking cool. Like.
Anything with Foley in it, really.
It's just,
Favorite hardcore moment? Mick Foley.
Just Mick Foley. Here's my Mount Rushmore: Onita, Foley, Funk, Moxley.
Moxley.
I was going to go Sabu, but I
it.
think I wanted to have someone modern, and I feel like he's kind of the standard bearer of the genre in the modern day.
Like Funk.
So if I put Sabu in then as well, it's just 4 guys who were around the same time.
Like even with Sabu's run WWF, that was fun. His match with John Cena.
That was awesome.
Until they fucked him. I don't know. Mick Foley Abyss.
Yeah.
The Miz, of course.
Obviously.
I don't know. Because there's guys that you classify as like hardcore. Like for some reason,
barely mentioned Raven.
Like, yeah, I know. Like, I love Raven, but I didn't even.
Has he won the hardcore title 48 times or something?
Like, despite that, I wouldn't even really put him in the hardcore category. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's more. He's more of like a character kind of. You know,
like we never mentioned Steve Blackman. Sorry, Johnny.
Sorry, John.
And the hardcore title I thought was fun. Crash Holly
for
Al Snow, Bob
for
Holly.
most of the hardcore titles run though, it was just a comedy title.
Yeah, I get. But like the Al Snow, like Bob Holly match where they get thrown into the river and stuff.
Look, I fucking adore that.
Is that Breakdown? I think it's that or something.
No, I adore that.
But like, I don't know. I think.
Was it an Armageddon? Because I think it was in the depths of winter.
I think like someone like Ilya Dragunov has this hardcoreness about him.
I know, and that goes back to your Gordy and Bruiser Brody thing.
It goes back, and
they're
that
not
goes
having
back to
death matches. But they're hitting each other really fucking hard.
Like NXT UK, maybe it's strong style, maybe I'm getting them confused, but like there's something, like he would have fit in an ECW, you know what I mean?
Ilya Dragunov would have been, like, he would have come out of ECW, no joke, in the same way that guys like Rey Mysterio came out and Eddie, like this beloved clamoring for what he does.
Yeah, like I get why people don't like hardcore wrestling.
I generally think actually WWE is the worst place for Ilya Dragunov. Because he's like stylistically, like he can fit in and he'll do well.
He'll do it anywhere.
Like, but he's so good at things that you can't do in that company that he has to kind of round off the best of them to fit in, unfortunately.
But like,
can we get just Dragunov back in OTT for like 2 years?
Go on, that'd be great. Yeah, like I get why people don't like hardcore wrestling
or
perception of hardcore wrestling. I think there's a massive place for it.
Like I don't stuff and all that doesn't do anything for me.
I don't like when people are calling it garbage wrestling.
No, there's more to it than that. It's more nuanced
to some people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's an art form that, like any other art form, is good.
And you dressed as Mick Foley today for Halloween.
Bang bang. But it's an art form, and like any art form, when it's done well, it's great, and when it's done badly, it's fucking shit. Yeah.
And next week we do technical masterpieces.
Oh god! No, but like even like when I'm watching the technical, and I know
we're doing it now, are we?
No, but when I know it's going to
technical wrestling,
like when I know it's going to be a technical match, like the start of the matches are always the shittest. Or like especially a WWF main event, like they're going to do 10 minutes of fucking nothing here, and then they're going to be like soaking it all in.
But also,
we didn't touch it there for 10 minutes. No, but you bored the fucking ever living jazz out me.
Like when Cody does it, it just looks crap.
Yeah.
Like Cody should never do that.
I love it when a match just starts and someone just fucking dives out the ropes.
Like this is what I want from Cody.
Every match should start with someone diving out the ropes.
When Cody's great, he's great, like, you know. But Cody's great when he channels 80s Jim Crockett or territory stuff. Not when he's channeling other shit that he tries to do sometimes. Like, Cody's great doing the Z style of stuff, but when Cody's trying to do mat wrestling, Jesus Christ, like, get off my screen. Like, that's a totally different topic.
Speaking of getting off your screens, we've been the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show, or getting out your ears. Hopefully we did it justice. I feel like maybe we touched upon a good bit of stuff without having a focus on, like, a lot of Mick Foley stuff. We'll get into that proper Mick Foley podcast soon.
When John's here.
But we really appreciate it. Like, we've blown him out of the water on All Elite Morro there the past while. I don't know what the fuck's happening.
All Elite Morro's ratings have gone up, but our pod's ratings have
shot through the roofs.
went fucking nuts there for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, just especially me and John Martin one, the one that you weren't on.
Yeah, well, I was over there shouting stuff in. I think that's what it was. It was my voice in the background.
Yeah,
that one went bonkers.
Lots on the channel. So much on the channel. It's hard to keep up with it.
I can't wait to finish Total Extreme tomorrow. No, just
you have another. Are you going to take a few weeks off? Yeah,
I'll take a couple of weeks off.
The fans are going to be devastated.
Well, I need to mod the mod.
Yeah, he needs to create a database.
Yeah,
which pay someone to do it.
Yeah,
it's been a Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show. Go check out All Elite Morro every Monday night. We're the best to talk wrestling. This podcast, whatever day it's released, you're checking it out. So thank you very much. Please comment below. It means a lot to us.
And like and subscribe.
But yeah, comment below. And let's get a conversation going.
Love the chats.
Yeah, we do. We genuinely do love the chats. Interact with us on social media. We're so like we love chatting. Like, it will always say, either if it's just calling him bollocks or whatever. And Total Extreme Morro, the last 2 episodes on the way, Wednesday night at the end of an era. Oh, R.I.P. And the Bazaars that are generally trying to be released every Sunday, but I just had this one done today and I said, fuck it. Yeah, today it's Friday, it's Halloween. I'm Cactus Jack. Bang, bang. I'm also the big beefy boy, Shaz Beef from the Wrestling Fan Wrestling Show. This is my fellow Old Buck and Morrow. Stay safe, stay sane. Good luck.
I always feel like somebody's watching me.